Hey, yes, you saw the title right. Guys, I've been missing Minecraft so much, it's been so long, but now I got my computer fixed and I want to push it to its limits with these Minecraft mods, and I want to invite you guys, the viewers, to experience this with me. I'm going to make a Modpack SMP, and I'm gonna tell you guys how you can play with me in this video. Now, I know my channel's dead, but there's still a couple of you viewers that like to tune in once in a while, and if you have a good computer, listen up, because you'll actually be able to play with me finally, and I want to be able to have people play with me, and I want to be able to own an SMP. The only downside is that I'm not going to be able to host a server, because obviously it's too expensive, but in the future it is a possibility if we get enough traction. By hosting a server, I mean just hosting it offline. We're not going to be able to do that, but we are going to be able to use stuff like Essential Mod or Lunar Client. I think I'm going to be using Essential Mod, so it's just easier. That means up to 8 of you guys are going to be able to play with me, but only while I'm online. Alright, now that I got that out of the way, to play with me with a smooth experience, you're going to need at least 12 to 16 gigabytes of RAM, with 6 gigabytes allocated to Minecraft. I'll show you guys how to do that in @launcher later, which is what you're going to be downloading in order to play with me. You're going to need a CPU with over 6 cores, probably a graphics card that's like a GTX 1660 plus. You're gonna need an SSD, maybe about 10 megabits per second of upload speed should be good. Just don't be in China or Australia or something, or it's Jover. But hopefully you guys in Europe will be able to play with me without any significant lag. I know it's gonna be difficult with just Essential Mod when I open a server to LAN, but like, that's all we can do for now. I think it should work though, because my computer is very powerful. It just really depends on the internet speed. If for some reason just using Essential Mod doesn't work out well, then I'll figure out port forwarding and update you guys on that, and then we'll find an easier way for you guys to play with me. Alright, so before I go over how to import the mod pack and be able to use it, I do want to go over some server rules and extra info. It's nothing too crazy. First of all, there's going to be a creative / survival hybrid kind of server. We're going to start off mostly with just survival mode for the first few weeks, but creative mode will be permitted at the appropriate time, which obviously means that keep inventory is going to be true, but don't worry, I'm probably going to make the server hard mode so that it's not too easy. To prevent griefing, I'm also going to turn off fire spreads and TNT explosions. I'll drop the seed once I decide enough progress has been done in the server, though I don't think you can do much with the seed in this mod pack anyway. And the last of the information for now is that gun scopes, yes, there's going to be a gun mod. They won't work with shaders, so don't use shaders with the gun scope. So far, my mod pack has just over 100 mods for 1.21 Java. The biggest mod highlight so far is Terralith and Tectonic, which is some biome mods. I also added biomes aplenty. All the nether mods from my nether mod video except Incendium is also going to be in there. I also added the weather mod, but the classic version, so there's going to be tornadoes and all of these natural disasters. The point blank mod, which is the gun mod I was just talking about, that's also going to be in there. There's going to be bosses of mass destruction, voice chat, lucky blocks, portable mobs, world edit, and tons of new weapons, shaders, resource packs, and small additions that enhance vanilla Minecraft but don't really change the game that much. The rules are boring but important, but I'm gonna have all 6 of the rules linked in the description below so you guys can read them. I'm probably gonna be adding more rules once we finally play together. So guys, the first thing you're going to want to do is download the zip file that I'm going to leave in the top link in the description below. That's going to be the entire mod pack, and you're going to want to import that into a mod pack launcher. I like to use @launcher. Recommend just downloading @launcher. You can search it up here. So yeah, once you're here, just click download, and if you're on Windows or Linux or OS X, just download from there. Alright guys, once you're in @launcher, just make sure that you're signed in. You can see down here. Go to instances. Go to import on the top left tiny button there. File, browse. It should be called 1.21 Godly Sheba mod pack. It says .zip file. Open that and import. If it says anything about the mods not being able to be downloaded, just download it anyway. You could just press OK and it'll work. You'll just have to open a browser and download them all manually. If it doesn't work for some reason, just leave it in the comment what the issue is and I can probably help. Alright guys, once you've imported your mod pack file, click on settings. Go to Java / Minecraft and make sure your maximum memory / RAM is the recommended. I recommend around 6 gigabytes that you guys do. I'm doing up to 12 because I have really heavy shaders and mods that I kind of maxed out, like Distant Horizons. I'm doing like 256 chunks. If you guys have a good computer, you know, you can allocate that much RAM, then I would do maybe 10 to 12 gigabytes. And the reason it says 12,000 here is because that's in megabytes, not gigabytes. Another way you could check if you're allocating the right amount of RAM is if your computer, when you go into Minecraft and you press F3, that you go on the top right and it'll show like 50% RAM to like 60%. Alright, the last thing I want to show you guys is the keybinds for each mod. So we can go here in controls and keybinds, and there's a lot of different mods you can see here with different keybinds and stuff. You guys can do it to whatever you want. These are just the ones that I'm the most comfortable with and that I recommend, and they're also based off of my regular keybinds that I used for vanilla Minecraft. For instance, dropping selected item, I use R instead of Q, which is the normal one, and I use left alt to sprint. You know, there's a couple of different little things that I have. Again, here, toggles perspective is V instead of F5 just because it's easier to click. But yeah, if you guys want to follow all of the keybinds that I use, you can go ahead. Some of them are not even bound, so you can change those to keybinds that you want to do. You guys can also pause if you'd like so you could copy everything. I just thought of showing you guys this part so it could save some time. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys get to enjoy these mods with me and play with me. Hopefully it's not laggy and all of that, but I did everything I could. Hopefully some people join, and I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. I got a lot going on, so hopefully we can make a good world together and have some fun. Yeah, have a good rest of your day guys, and peace out.